Today's episode of the Eskimo Empire podcast is brought to you by Taproot Edmonton, your source for curiosity-driven coverage of our city, cultivated by the community. Taproot publishes a weekly tech roundup, sharing local headlines and upcoming events to help you stay up to date on what's happening in Edmonton's tech community. It's curated by Mac Mail, a longtime tech blogger and co-founder of Taproot Edmonton. Subscribe to the Tech Roundup for free at taprootedmonton.ca. And you can also actually get the audio version of the Tech Roundup. Subscribe to the weekly 5-minute podcast at techroundup.taprootedmonton.ca. Enjoy the show.
Hey, fellas, we ain't gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us go down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malomba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire podcast.
The Eskimo Empire podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire podcast, and we're a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and joined by our favorite talking Esks test. I tried to make a really good joke.
You did.
And I totally blew it. Can I try again?
Sure.
All right, then. Joined by our favorite talking Esks textbook, Superfan Mike.
Not an Esks-cyclopedia anymore?
No, well, I like to switch it up.
Oh, like, just keep them on my toes.
Sometimes it's textbook, sometimes it's an encyclopedia.
Oh, this whole thing is textbook, my friend.
It's going to be Esks Dictionary soon.
Excellent.
Yeah, I saw that one out pretty easily.
Eskosaurus?
Eskosaurus.
That's right.
I wish that was real.
That'd be great.
It's a great big green and gold dinosaur. I'm down with this.
I mean...
I think that is the new. We just found the new mascot.
There we go. The Eskosaurus.
Eskosaur? Come on, who would not think that's unreal?
It's true.
Chris Presson, I'll just take payment and you showing up.
There you go. That's fair.
It's very easy. I just provide ideas.
Yep.
Free of charge. Just come over and talk.
He's
to
an
us.
Ideas man.
That's what I've always been. That
right.
How are you, Superfan?
Good. It's nice to be back. You've done a lot in this room.
I have. Yeah, I've been working hard down here, trying
sir.
to make it a little bit nicer. We need to, we're still working on the lighting, so
Yep.
the YouTube Live goes a little, or should I say YouTube Live?
You should.
That's what
At every possible opportunity.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Jed. I do realize that, and I think I said this on the YouTube Live as well, but I do need to change the intro for the show because there is only 2 players in that intro that are still legitimately on the team right now.
But you never know. We still have time between now and camp. They could come back.
I know. That's
all
what
of them.
I won't make, probably not all of them.
Well, probably not.
Yeah, Christoph is definitely in Ottawa.
Yeah, I know. But what he
Kenny
gets cut
is most
in
definitely in...
If he gets cut and comes back... If you recall, Kenny Stafford was at Winnipeg, and then he came back to the team on the PR.
It's not very nice to Christoph to say. You think that he's not going to make that.
Well, no, it's not that I don't think he will. Maybe he'll just be like, no, I'm not playing for you anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't
Only
like
be
this.
in French.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know.
If I wish I knew how to say that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You could figure it out, but it would take the entire podcast. So.
I'll wait till closer to the season so that we're a little more set up.
There you go.
And then we'll
have
get that all swapped out. Now, another week of free agency, and neither of us got signed, which is a shame.
That is very true. But to be fair, I think I'm a little for a rookie now.
I guess, yeah, well, I'll take whatever.
Yeah.
Sign me up as the water guy.
That works.
I'm good with that, yeah.
Stupid cap.
That's what it is.
That's the reason.
Yeah, it's all about the
world's oldest water boy.
Who cares?
Yep.
Who cares?
Call Guinness.
Yep, absolutely. We can find a way to make this happen. I'm totally down with that. You do anything fun over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Other
I got
than
to
be
run.
sick?
Yeah, well, I did get to see Randy's Roadshow.
Yes.
You were there as well.
I was
That was
as well.
awesome.
It was very, very good.
Good
Yes.
to catch up with a lot of friends, and of course, Dwayne Mandrusiak did come over and visit with us, along with Chris Presson.
And told an amazing Duron Carter story, which is
Yes.
outstanding. So I very much appreciate.
Aren't they
Dwayne.
all?
Yes, all of his stories are great.
Yes, and all the Deron Carter stories.
Yes,
They're pretty good too.
They're usually very
Mostly
entertaining.
because he didn't play for us.
Mostly,
That's why.
yes, that's right. Yes, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Yes. No, it was a great night.
Yeah, it was a
Anything
lot of
that
fun.
really stood out to you that night?
It was a good room. It was kind of weird to be like, isn't this Goose Loonies?
Like, it is only to you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no. A lot of people were
I
saying the
guess
same
there's-
thing. A lot of people were like, I used to dance on a speaker there, or I used to throw up in the corner, you know.
Well, that was just you. That was Brazilian
I was
Thai
way
wasn't there.
too old to be going to Goose Loonies.
Oh,
Good Lord.
come
I didn't
on.
need fake ID.
That's true.
That means I was too old.
That could be the case.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, there was a lot of fun. I really liked the format.
Yeah.
It was nice to sort of see, some good questions coming out of it. And just, again, great to see some football family in February.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk a bit more about some of the
Yeah.
things that were talked about there with our guest. I do want to, just before we bring in our guest, I do want to mention, so our live show has hit just a small snag.
Yes.
And we had a venue which ended up not panning out the way we wanted. So if anybody has a connection for a venue in Edmonton that will hold about 50 people, please let me know. We're just trying to get into some place for the afternoon on May 9th.
Yep.
We've got some other pieces kind of starting to fall into place, so we just need a spot to go.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so if anybody can help, that would be
Just do it outside of
outstanding.
Commonwealth.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can rent out the green and gold room and look out over the field.
See, that'd be fantastic.
I am considering it.
There you go.
Yeah, but I don't know how much that would cost. But well,
For
you know.
us? Come on.
Come on, guys. Anyway, we'll see what we can find out. But any help would be great. Now, let's get to our guest.
Yes.
Our guest is joining us for, I believe, the fourth time.
Next time's jacket.
Yep. Ooh, really?
No.
Okay, good. I was like, damn, I owe Quaku a jacket already.
Yes.
He's been at least
And
5.
Paul Reckner.
Yes, I for sure.
He's insisting.
Exactly. Of course he is, yeah. Welcome back to the Turf District. Our favorite stats man, the one and only Brian Desjardins, or better known as Uncle BD. How you doing, man?
I am doing good.
Good.
Living the dream.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. I know last year we didn't get you in during the season, but you offered up your younger
got the
brother.
little bro in, yeah.
That's right, yes. And that was a fun chat. He's right up on the wall. I believe he is right in the corner.
Oh, my.
Right there.
I wasn't there.
There
So.
you go. Yeah, I know. I got that one up there. But is that another sick one?
I don't know what that one was.
See, got both corners, right?
Wow.
That's right. That's how it works now. We got
Corner to
it's
corner.
all Desjardins all the time in this room.
It's a battle royale here.
Outstanding.
Reminds me of dinner growing up.
You got, 10 years on him? That should have been easy.
Yeah, but there was another one involved.
Oh,
there,
that's
too.
true. You
Had to hold two of them. It's hard to eat with no hands, right?
That's yeah, exactly.
But it's still possible.
It is possible.
You found a way.
Yep.
Perfect. God, I wish that was still on YouTube Live.
Ted Laurent would be like, that's right.
That's right. Exactly. So how you been?
Doing good.
Good. Tell us a little bit about your business season. What have you been doing for since there's been no games to track?
Well, let's back it up here. Yeah. Last year was the big half century there. Mike and I joined in that last year.
Yes.
I had some big plans. I was going to surprise a whole bunch of ex-schoolmates and that. And I got halfway through that and hate to say it, but people started to die on me. And
Yeah.
it's like,
that's not good.
So it's like, I went to like 6 funerals there in like a span of 4 months. And it's like,
man,
hey, what am I doing here? I got all this Eskimo information. I love my Eskimos.
Yes.
Let's organize it. Let's compile it.
we're
Let's
talking.
put it together. Let's get after it, right? So I put the, got the elbow grease out and nose to the grindstone here and started to put some of this stuff into a database and really went hard at it here and got another little pet project with some hockey stuff with the WHL here on the side as well.
Nice.
But again, I'm just getting through this stuff, and it's like when you get to a certain age, you start realizing putting stuff together what's important, what's not important. You know,
absolutely.
don't sweat the small stuff, that type of stuff. But realizing, hey, I love my Eskimos, and this is what I'm good at. This is what I do, and hopefully, I put this all together and others can enjoy. So,
Awesome.
It's a good philosophy in life. You don't sweat the petty stuff, and you don't pet the sweaty stuff.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So
I love
right.
that line.
Yes.
No, that's very good. It's very good. I know I want to dive into some stats with you, but I want to talk a little bit about some other news and things that have been going on in the league. Starting with at the Randy's Roadshow and throughout the Randy's Roadshow, they've talked about the possibility of this new playoff format. Switching it where now we kind of touched on it, but not really in too much depth. But I know I got into it with Valentine a little bit, which you guys will hear next week.
what a tease.
Well, also, see, that's the teaching part.
That's right.
So, what do you think of this idea where West and East first place teams get the byes and basically seeded 1 and 2, and then whoever the following 4 best records are seeded 3 through 6, and 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. And then how are you so far? Because that's the part that I think we can all agree sounds actually not too bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Why do you say that?
So I'm glad you bring that up. I'm an old fart. I'm a traditionalist. I'm not as old as some of the farts out there, but it's one of those things where if you're gonna do this, let's go full retro. Let's go back to the 2-game total point. Let's go back to the best of 3. Well, let's drop it to 14 games. Right? And then you extend that. Like, you're telling me TSN's not going to get viewers to watch 5 playoff games?
Yeah, but it's the funds for the other teams, right? That's why they don't want to do it.
But again, you save some bodies, save some wear and tear if you drop the number of games from 18 to 16 or to 14.
Don't forget, this is back when you played on Saturday and Monday.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little tougher now.
There's a little more player safety.
In 1949, didn't we play 14 games in 2 months? It was ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeepers. Well, you would know. I don't know why I'm asking you. Really.
But again, it's one of those things. Again, what Randy's proposing is, I like the first part of it. I don't like the pick'em part.
The pick'em.
Okay.
If I had to go with it, again, it's... Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the target audience is not us anymore.
No, it's not.
Like, they know where they're going. Doesn't matter.
But
like,
is that what it's going to take to bring over that?
And that's the question.
Or is it just turning off the people that are going and not bringing in those people?
Yeah, who knows? But I do think, especially with the popularity of your reality TVs, your things where people get, have to pick different people, get voted out, all those types of things. I can see the idea behind it. Is it my favorite thing? Absolutely not.
Listen, I'm a big Survivor fan.
Yeah.
However,
to me, the reality TV is already on the field.
Yeah.
The game is reality TV.
Yes, but they're stopping. Yeah. They started calling it reality TV a while ago. Now it's unscripted drama.
Oh, is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, so highly edited drama.
Yeah.
That's really what it should be.
Here's 0.1% of their day
yes.
distilled into a 44-minute segment.
Right, yes. So, anyway, I think we all kind of feel... Like, I don't mind the seating, though.
No, I don't mind the seating either.
Well, I mean, first and second doesn't change. Well,
right.
It's not really second necessarily.
Right.
You could be the 4th place team, but you're still the top. You have to buy in the first round.
You end up with you end up with the second seed just by winning your division.
Right.
Yeah.
So that doesn't change. 3 through 6. I think once we bring in Halifax, or if that eventually does fall apart, Quebec City, maybe, whatever. If we can get to 10 teams, then it's a balanced schedule. Everyone plays everyone twice.
Right.
Home and away.
Yeah.
So there's no advantage being East or West. So if that's the case, then it's almost like a one division kind of concept.
Yeah.
But you can still keep that East-West with the... So it's... I don't know. Is it appealing to everyone, or is it making no one happy? I guess we'll find out.
Yes, well, yeah. I don't. From what we heard from Randy, it sounds like the choosing part has been kind of an overwhelming. Please don't.
Yeah,
Yes.
But the seating part has been.
He had a couple of
met
things
with a
that
good
he's been
thing.
talking about at every city, and that one was one of them.
But is that a strategy by Randy just to lob something up? So
Well,
you
maybe
knock
it's
it
just
away,
like,
right?
I want the seeding 3 through 6 to play each other, so I'll throw something else in that's really bad. Everyone will be happy when you get rid of it, and then we can push this through.
And that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do that with my kids. Kids, close your ears. That's what Dad does once in a while.
That's right.
That's I'm going to make it really crazy, and then we're going to come back, and that'll be okay.
Right. That
Yeah.
and the Rouge, I think, were the two most controversial things. So,
So, okay, so tell me what because I have only heard a little bit
so
about the Rouge one.
the concept is that they're going to tweak the rules for the Rouge, where now if it goes through the end zone or the side of the end, like the back or the side of the end zone,
Right.
it's a
Without
single
bouncing.
point. Period, as it is now.
Right.
It's a single point. He wants to make it so it has to touch the ground or a person
Right.
in the field of play, which is the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't, if it just sails right through the end zone without touching, then it's 0 points.
Right.
And the concept being it has to be returnable.
Right.
If it's not returnable, then why are you rewarding failure is what so many Americans would say.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'd want to see it in junior first. Like throw it in a junior or a college and see how it works for a year or two.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't affect it a lot. You don't see... It's
not tons, no.
Obviously, there was a close one last year with BC's first win.
Right.
Yeah.
When they beat Toronto and because he fielded the ball...
And stepped out. Yeah.
But he did field the ball. Like
that's right. So it
at
still
that point-
would have counted as the point.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question is, would he, if he knew that if it went through the end zone doesn't count, would he have just stepped out of the way? Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
But, your adrenaline's going and everything else. So I don't know. I'd want to see it in action before we bring it into here and, bring it in 1 year, take it away the next year. I don't
Right.
know that, so.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Yep.
What do you think of that, Brian?
I can agree with that. If the ball is in the field of play and you tackle a guy that was my thing, is that if it is returned, you tackle a guy or he concedes it, that's a Rouge. If you kick it out of bounds, if it's not touched by anybody, it's
Right.
not a point.
But if it hits the ground, then, to me, that's fieldable, right?
Like if it hits the ground and bounces out, then
if it's a coffin corner thing and
Yeah.
it's going out of bounds no matter what, is it matter if it's in play or out of play?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
But that's the rule. It doesn't touch the ground. That's the only tweak he's got so far.
Okay.
So if it goes through the end zone, doesn't touch the ground in bounds, then it doesn't count.
But again, it's my belief that we need the Rouge because it doesn't let the defense off the hook either. It's either
Right,
if
you
you
still
return
got
the ball, like how many times has Ron Lancaster rolled over in his grave because a guy, fields the ball 2 yards deep and then comes out and then what do I do now? Right?
Yeah. And then,
Again,
But that would still happen in this case.
oh yeah, it still does, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's an interesting thoughts for sure.
People are freaking out about it on social media.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, they're losing their minds.
Oh, I have not.
I don't think a
seen
lot of
any
people
it, yeah.
know all the circumstances. People are like, don't take away the Rouge. It's like, no, we're not taking away the Rouge.
We're just it's just
Somewhere
tweaking it a
Anthony
little.
Moretti is losing his mind. I'm sure.
Quite likely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Dr. Rouge.
What about your thoughts on global players and CFL 2.0?
I think it's a long time coming. Like again, you got to grow the game.
Yep.
There's interest everywhere. Not. Let's be honest here. The NFL is the creme de la creme of leagues, right? But there
the
are
creme de la creme of getting the best players.
yeah, top quality talent.
Right.
But again, the CFL, the Italian league, the German league, they're like it's not their talent may not be as grade A as the NFL, but there's passion, there's interest. There are athletes out there.
Oh,
Trust
absolutely.
me, there are some amazing athletes, and there's other athletes in other sports transitioning to football.
Mm-hmm.
There's rugby players. How many Australian rules rugby players have we got in the NFL and the CFL?
Well, you've got both. You've got Australian rules football and Australian rugby.
Yeah,
so.
and it's becoming more and more of a global.
They do have a gridiron football league in Australia.
And now they're going to start playing the CFL
Canadian
game.
rules.
Yeah, which is really cool.
It's going to be it is a global sport. There are many TV stations out there that need content, and again, the passion that we have for our game why can't we grow that too? Like having the Mexican players, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them used a lot more. I mean, other than, one or two guys in Winnipeg, for instance.
Yeah. Two guys
Great play.
in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Don't know Winnipeg.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it would be interesting. I mean, you played quarterback
Yeah.
at football. This is an opportunity for some of those guys that aren't necessarily ready for the CFL to go a year or two in Europe or Australia or Mexico, play a couple years, come back, and maybe you're ready.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Well, even
for a Canadian player?
Well, if you look
I think that's awesome.
You look at American players too. Like Brandon Zylstra, right? He honed his craft. He learned how to be a professional here. Duke Williams, right? Again, he's been everywhere. Well, that was a little bit different. I think he was ready to step in the NFL when he came out of college.
But he did learn. He did still refine his play.
Well, he refined his craft. And
when he came, he was hitting the ground running at that point.
Yeah. And again, a lot of these players, they need to grow into their bodies too. Right?
Yeah.
Again, at 21 years
mentally.
old, what do you really... what percentage of your strength, your knowledge, right? Your brain's still developing till you're 25.
There.
Yeah, well. I stalled a long time ago.
Yeah.
I stalled.
Yeah.
I'm in a nosedive right now.
You know that little sign on the computer that keeps going in a circle?
No.
I invented that.
I don't know.
I invented that.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
People looked at me and they looked at my eyes and it's like, circle.
Oh, circle. Yeah, let's make it blue. It's interesting. Just like lines, right?
There you go.
That's excellent. All right, let's get
Where
to
BSOD came from.
What's that?
That where BSOD came from.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Brian's SO.
You really thought this out very
Yes.
quickly. I do appreciate that. I have some other stuff that we'll talk that I want
related, or
to
are we
talk
just
to.
gonna-
Yes, that
Oh,
I'm going
good.
to talk to you about after. But I want to get to a little bit of the news because we do have some players that we want to talk about. So the Eskimos signed international defensive back Kyron Williams. I watched a couple of highlight reels for him. Pretty good speed, really, really good tip drill hands.
Nice.
Lots of interceptions off tips. So, I mean, as soon as we can play Nate Bahar,
I was just going to say, we're playing Nate Bahar anytime soon.
He'll get lots of interceptions. That was mean, but it's funny though.
Yeah.
We
love you, Nate.
Exactly. We did sign international offensive lineman Justin Renfro coming out from BC and was in Calgary before then.
Right tackle.
Very interesting signing there.
Very interesting. I agree. So I'm curious to see how all of those tackles are going to go at.
We've got quite a few American tackles now.
And there's going to be a competition.
Is it one tackle per quarterback? Is that the way?
Sure.
Pretty much at this point.
We're going to have 12 defensive linemen, and we're going to have, 11 offensive linemen?
Exactly, yeah.
Tackle eligible.
Go, yeah. I think the coolest thing for me is that I actually welcomed him to the team on Twitter, and I said, I heard you like podcasts, because he was actually just on BC Lions Den not that long ago, and is helping to sponsor their show this year. And he messaged right away and said, yeah, I'll be there in early March so we can get this set up. So I'm excited to hopefully get him on the show to hear his thoughts about the O-line. And he does a ton of stuff in the community. So another community-minded guy.
Which we love here.
Fits right in.
Absolutely. Absolutely love it. We signed international defensive back, / running back, Dakari Monroe. Taller dude, not afraid of contact. In his highlight reel, showing a little bit on DB, but a lot as running back.
Interesting.
And when he turns the corner, there's a whole new set of gears that are going on.
So one tackle per quarterback per running back.
Right.
Sure. That's the.
That sounds fair.
We're really getting close.
Maybe he'll be a 60-minute man.
Oh, there's
old school.
There you go.
Playing both sides of the ball.
I can't wait for the stats on that one.
I can't either.
International running back, because we don't have enough of those. But we did talk about this a little bit on the YouTube Live.
Yes.
Lexington Thomas, very, very fast, and some Madden-esque spin moves going on there. Like, I was very impressed with the highlight reel. And I understand they only put the best in the highlight reel. But
sure.
Wow.
You're not going to put your average stuff where it's like, I carried the ball and got tackled within a yard. Tackle for a loss.
Well,
in
the ball.
In the spirit of fairness.
Yes, exactly.
You had Eric Blunt there for -2 yards every carry.
And yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, another running back to watch. And then we signed yet another running back, international running back, Scary Terry Williams.
Yes.
Comes from Calgary up here.
He's done well here.
He has
at
done
Commonwealth.
well. He has, absolutely. Especially kick returning.
Yes. And punt returning.
Yes. So I'm kind of interested to see how they use that.
I think is that more of a running back move or is that a returner move? Because
yes,
Christian Jones, it's
very good.
Yeah, we're loaded there.
To be fair, we don't know where. No, you're going to say that every time I do that, aren't
Brazilian
you?
tie would expect no less.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. This can make me laugh every time. Yeah. I think we don't know where Christian Jones is in his recovery from his injury either. So maybe this is another move to have somebody that's there and see how he does, and then Christian Jones gets a little more healing time. Like, who knows?
Robinson, right? We have a lot.
We got a ton of kick returners. So.
I think someone counted on Facebook. It might have been Darren Popovich.
Okay.
105 guys are currently under contract for the Eskimos. 105.
Well, actually, we know that because even Dwayne was saying you're going to have over 100 guys at camp, and so
it's like the 70s.
Yeah,
all over again.
I asked him if he was going to actually have guys with like 110, and he's like, no.
You'll just have guys that wear, you white 87 and green 87.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Interesting choice of number.
Thank you.
All right then.
Dun dun dun.
Did you guys see the Eskimos St. Patrick's Day shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my Luck E shirt.
Yeah.
With the
they're already sold out of our size.
Are you serious?
XL and double XL are sold out.
Wow. That didn't take
So it's doing well, or
That's
they only
good.
got like 5 of each, one or the other. I'm kind of hoping it's the former.
I'm hoping that it did well. Yeah.
I'm sure Cliff has saved some for us.
Excellent. Well,
Probably.
or to be fair,
Yeah.
you have 15 days to lose a lot of weight. So I'm on it. I see your challenge and I accept.
Get these Timbits out of here. What is going on?
Or grow. For 3XL.
Oh, well, okay. I like that plan. That plan's easier for me, honestly.
Way easier.
Yeah, I kind of like that. The other part was there was the new cheer team was announced. All the
Congrats
tryouts
to them.
were done. Congrats to all the people who are now on the cheer team.
Still the best in the league.
We are working out to have some team members on.
Yes.
We're just kind of working on a date to have that happen. I do want to send a shout out to Karen Kondo, who is the head coach now, as she reached out to me so that we can try and make this happen. So
outstanding.
We're just working on a date to have them in and chat some cheer team side of things. So I'm excited. We've wanted to do that since the beginning to kind of see what that's like, right? It's totally different when you can be a fan of the team, but even if you're on the sideline, you may not be able to actually see what's going on.
Right.
So I think it's going to be very, very cool.
Yep, me too. I can't wait.
Excellent. All right, we are going to take a quick break now that we've got through our news, and then we will be right back with the Esks History moment, the all-time depth chart, and then I have a few more fun questions and possibly a little stats game.
Hey, this is Earthquaku, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my pics on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show.
This week's show is also brought to you by the Alberta Podcast Network. Check out the Ed Podcast, where host Shane Lawrence talks to a variety of teachers about different teaching experiences and candid conversations about what it's like in classrooms today. An extra shout out actually to Shane, as he helped me with a Photoshop issue this week, which will end up in us having some buttons very soon with the logo on them. So thank you very much to Shane. I guess teachers just like to help. That's what we like to do. Exactly. So catch up on all of his conversations at theedpodcast.com, or of course check the link with all of the other great shows at albertapodcastnetwork.com. Oh, I like that, eh?
Slowing it right down.
Just making it fun. Exactly.
Someone Larry Dean's like, that's about right, man.
He's like, oh, he did that last part. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to our Esks History moment and all of the fun guys from the early years.
Let's hear you cheer and holler for a mighty famous team. Let's hear you roar, you know what, for a team that's on the beat. Our voices rise up to the skies, the fans are glad to scream. We love those Eskimos.
Welcome back to the Esks History Moment. This offseason, we are building the ultimate Eskimos depth chart as voted on by the fans of this podcast and the Edmonton Eskimos. This poll runs every 2 weeks and selects players from 1975 to 2019. But what about the players from before those years? Working with good friends of the podcast who were around in the early days of listening to our heroes on the radio and watching on small TVs, we have put together a separate roster featuring only those players to create the Ernie Pismo Rasco Memorial All-Star roster. This round, we are taking a look at the offensive line, the foundation of the offense in Canadian football. As the new team joined the league, lines were 7 men across, and you might see the old rugby terms still being used: snap, insides, middles, and outsides, corresponding to center, guard, tackle, and end. As we mentioned when we discussed the receivers, ends eventually split away from the tackles, leaving the now common 5-man offensive line. This is the format we will be using today as we look at centers, guards, and tackles from the big man up front. For center, we chose 2 players. Bob Howes was also selected as the top long snapper in an era where most centers performed both duties. Howes was with the team beginning in 1972, retiring after the 1980 season, and came back midway through 1981 to cover the position and retire as Grey Cup champion for the 5th time. The other center came to the team in 1952 after 3 years with the Montreal Alouettes, Eagle Keys. Centering the line that year, the team went all the way to their first Grey Cup since rejoining in 1949, losing in a valiant battle to the Argonauts. 1953 saw the team finish in first place for the first time, and a year later they won the Grey Cup, a game where Keys played on a broken leg for most of the game.
Oh, man.
Eagle played in the CFL for 6 years and was named an All-Star at the center position all 6 of those years. He moved into the coaching ranks immediately after his retirement as a player, first as an assistant to Pop Ivy and his successor Sam Lyle, and finally as a head coach in 1959, taking his club to the 1960 Grey Cup, the last visit they would make until the mid-70s. At the guard position, we start with a man who likely has earned more Grey Cup rings than anyone else on the planet, winning 3 in a row with the Argonauts in 1945-47, 3 more with the Eskimos 1954-56, and 7 more as an executive with the Edmonton, Frank Morris.
Wow.
Morris joined the team in 1950, bringing respectability to the sophomore club, having been a 3-time Grey Cup champion with the Argos. Morris dominated on the offensive line and played on the defensive line as well, back when players often played both sides of the ball. Morris is the only person to play on 2 different 3-in-a-row Grey Cup winning teams and played on the first ever CFL All-Star game in 1955. After retirement, Morris found his way back to the Eskimos as an executive, most famously as the club's Canadian scout, earning 7 more Grey Cup rings.
7 more? He's got fingers and toes.
13.
Yeah, wow.
Still a record. The next choice on our list was the first African-American lineman to join the Eskimos, Art Walker. Walker was drafted out of the University of Michigan by the Green Bay Packers, but opted instead to don the green and gold before the Packers switched to those colors, coming to Canada where racial integration and higher pay were more common. Walker was a two-way player, suiting up at guard on offense and defensive tackle, but it was on the offensive line where he became an all-star, winning the DeMarco Beckett Trophy for Best Lineman in the West in both 1957 and 58, and was the Eskimos nominee for Most Outstanding Player in 1959. He was named an All-Star 4 times in his first 5 years, and injuries started to plague him, suffering an Achilles injury 1 game into the 1960 season, which he rehabbed fiercely to star again in 1961, but it returned during the last game of that season, forcing him into retirement. And the last player we chose at the guard position was with the team for 6 years again in the mid-1970s, Roger Scales. Scales joined the team midway through the 1972 season from the Eastern champion Toronto Argonauts and was famous there for scoring their only touchdown in the 1971 Grey Cup on a fumble recovery. Scales played every game after joining the offensive line during the beginnings of the Dynasty era when the team was moving to an all-Canadian line. Scales finally got that elusive championship ring when Edmonton ended the 19-year drought and hoisted the Grey Cup in 1975. Moving on now to the offensive tackle position, we look at the man widely considered the first American-style tackle to join the Green and Gold, Roger Nelson. Nelson came to the Green and Gold under first-year coach Frank Pop Ivy, who had coached him at the University of Oklahoma, using the new split T offensive line formation that the Esks had brought into the league the previous year under coach Darryl Royal. Nelson was a 4-time All-Star at tackle for the Eskimos, as well as the 1959 Most Outstanding Lineman winner. He anchored the line until his retirement after the 1967 season, where he moved into coaching and was later inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in 1985, and was enshrined on the Eskimos' Wall of Honor in 1987. His son Mark Nelson coached the Eskimos from 1992 to 94 and again from 2011 to 12. Next, the penultimate name on our list, and one where I freely admit a total bias, we have someone whose stats and accolades back up his entry on our list. The incomparable Charlie Turner is our second entry at the tackle spot. And offensive linemen everywhere owe him a debt of gratitude for allowing them to be recognized for their outstanding play. Initially, the annual award went to the Lineman of the Year, harkening back to the days when most linemen went both ways on offense and defense. But as the age of the specialists came to Canadian football, offensive linemen were overshadowed by their defensive counterparts, so it became a de facto defensive award. Turner fought hard for his fellow offensive linemen, and along with Ed George from Montreal, convinced the league to create the Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman, or MOOL, award.
There is only MOOL.
There is only MOOL. Rewarding outstanding play on the offensive side of the ball. Turner himself won the award in 1975, the second year of its existence, and was named an All-Star at the tackle position 5 times in a 6-year span from 1972 through 1977. Turner protected such important figures in Esks history as first Bruce Lemmerman, then Tom Wilkinson, and finally Warren Moon in his final year in Green and Gold, and hoisted the Grey Cup in 1975 and 78. Surely we will soon see him receive the ultimate honor and make his way onto the Eskimos' Wall of Honor one day. And then while Charlie Turner protected the quarterback from one side of the defense, the other side was guarded by our final choice in this round, Willie Martin. Martin came to the Edmonton as a rookie out of Northeastern State in 1973, replacing the great Larry Watkins, who could have easily made this list himself. Watkins was known for his outstanding quickness for a big man and kept the quarterback's blind side protected as the team entered the new era of the club, becoming the ultimate force in Canadian football. A huge man for the era, Martin came in at 6'5" and 270 pounds, considered massive for that time. It was his deftness on his feet that kept opposing defensive ends at bay for 6 years as the twin towers of Martin and Turner allowed the Eskimos to move from the run-first team to the modern pass-first team and become the dynasty team we all know and love as one of the brightest spots in Esks history.
Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. We love those Eskimos.
That was awesome. Super
Thank
fun.
you.
I love it. Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to talk about your favorite dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good
like,
thing.
I get to help pick this list, so damn it, Charlie Turner is making this list.
He's getting on a list.
Since finding out some of the rules to make the Eskimos Wall of Honor, you have to have played at least 6 seasons in Green and Gold.
Okay.
It still baffles me how he's not on there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And he had great numbers.
He's got the numbers to back it up.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. We still, I mean, who goes up next? Now they put Ricky up. So.
Ricky's not up yet.
Oh, that's right. They just honored him. They didn't
Yes.
actually put him up. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I gotta get. Yeah,
I think that they need to start doing stuff where they have an older player and a modern player.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
That way it gets so many different generations coming.
Yeah, they're running out of space for those signs. But
they can make space.
Make them digital.
Make the that's an interesting idea.
Digital thing there to start,
and then just have them rotate every.
They flash up there,
Yeah.
and then you have your advertising, and then you reflash them again.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's this. Preston's getting lots of ideas from this show tonight.
I'm telling you, and with the 9 home games, you could do and all the intermissions with the quarters and everything else on the big screen. Just talk about one of your Wall of Honor guys every quarter.
Yeah,
I always
36
think about
guys.
Yeah,
you put a monitor up on one of those big pillars for every single pillar, and you just rotate them through. Right?
Oh, that'd be
that'd
be pretty cool.
Lots of free options.
I love these options.
Well,
it's very good.
The ideas are free.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably costs money to do this.
What? No. All right. Interesting. You were talking about the last guy that was
Willie Martin.
Yeah, for his speed, even though he was a big dude.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch any of the highlights from the NFL Combine where they had the one
310 guy?
The one offensive line guy, but the one offensive line guy that did like a 5-second 40-yard dash, and he's a ginormous man.
310. He's 310 pounds, and he does it. Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah, I was like, man, oh man, that guy's got some feet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Willie Martin was 6'5", 270. Like, he's not far off from the guys that are currently on the team.
Absolutely.
And he joined in 1973.
Wow. So
he was huge. You see the team photos, and there's this massive guy in the middle. That's Willie.
That's that guy.
So let's play a quick stats game here.
I like this.
Your guy, Willie Martin.
Yeah.
Plus or minus 100 games played. Above or below?
Let's see. He played, 6 seasons? And he only missed, I think, 1 game in that time. So I'm going to say he's over.
Nope. 96.
Oh, so close.
Ooh, so close.
My math. Let's go say there were only 16 games back then.
And who else he had? Art Walker?
Art Walker?
Above or below?
Oh, below.
92?
Yeah.
He was
only 4 games behind.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
He missed most of 60 other than 1 game, and so that was basically 1 season gone.
Roger Scales?
Scales, he's under.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah.
Wow, there are a lot of them that are very close.
They're very close, very close. How about a guy like Damon Allen?
Damon Allen?
How many games with the Eskimos?
With the Eskimos, above or below 100?
Well, he joined in, 85 to 88, so there's 4 years.
Yeah.
And then he was back in 93 and 94. So, I mean, and these are back in the days when it was, the first year I think was only 16, but every year after that he was at 18 games a season.
Oh,
I'm making it work.
There's
going to be 90.
And there's going to be some playoff games.
Well,
no, just regular season.
Regular season.
But still, he's got to be close. I mean, you're looking at, if he played every game without getting injured in those 5 seasons, you're at 90. Then you've got another 16, would be 106. But was he injured for any of these games? So
I'm going to say just under. I'm going to say under.
Yeah, I'll say like 98.
98 on the button.
Woo! Wow!
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, well done.
You guys are on it.
That was all Superfan. I just guessed.
And we got the few guys just a bit over 100. We got like Tommy Joe Coffey at 103,
yes,
George McGowan, 104.
Guys that have all made this rosters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ed Jones, 110.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Made the roster.
Tim Buck.
Who's the
101.
Are you going to ask us who's the one that has played the most? Or do you already know?
You
already know the answer.
Yeah, we already talked about that guy on the YouTube.
He's not a tackler and he's not a guard.
Oh,
he's a center.
Center. Rod Connor.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. All right, then. You know what? I totally blew that there. I should have said, if you want to know who it is.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll do that.
YouTube Live.
I want to play more stats games, but I also want to. I was talking about the combine. The CFL combine is coming up.
Yeah.
March 26th through 28th. There's regionals coming through. There's actually one in Edmonton on March 20th. Have you ever gone to watch one of those?
I went to a regional one. Saw it in the field house there, and again, they're all impressive athletes.
Sure,
but when we're talking of this caliber of players, there's a lot of guys out there that are great athletes, but are they football players? Are they? And it depends on what positions they are, right? There's measurables for each. The big controversy about hand size.
Right.
But we got no quarterback, so so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But again, there's so much good Canadian talent, and we talked about CFL 2.0. Again, that talent is only going to get better.
Yeah,
right.
You have to think.
If we get some of these Canadian guys going over playing in Germany, go play in Mexico,
steel sharpens steel,
come back, a year stronger, a year better. It's a good problem for a guy like Brock to have.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
There's a pool out there that's going to get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, right? So it's good on Randy to try make that pool a little bit deeper, a little more vast, and again, you
get
just
more
never
eyes
know
on the game too,
and you just never know who's going to show up.
Way more people watching the game.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they were saying at Randy's Roadshow that last year with the Combine, with the global people, they had over, what did they say, 2 million people watching it or something on the Facebook Live feed. It's like, that's ridiculous. Like, it was, it's pretty cool. And most of those were from overseas.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to kind of spread that out. I really like the idea. Do you, like, are combines exciting for stats guys, or not really, because you're waiting more for games?
For me, it's more about the games, but again, seeing some of these players, it's remarkable. I had I was fortunate enough to go to Vegas those 2 years. We had those spring camps, and again, you see the free agent tryout camp for the one day. Guys are laying down their $100 and running 40s and doing cone drills and doing the all the measurables. And there are some guys that can ball out there, right?
Yeah.
But then sometimes you can tell, your eyes just tell you that, you may be good, but this is just average with this group of guys. And then who stands out?
Yes.
Who's that freak?
Yeah.
And again, when you're dealing with football players, again, you're looking for that freak.
Yeah.
Who's out there and just captures your eye, because that's the guy that's going to make a difference.
Well, the nice thing is you can actually try it yourself.
Oh, we can.
Yeah, March 7th.
Yep. I was just going to lead to that.
Nice.
Yep. So are you going to try out?
Duh.
Really?
No, I'm holding up for the 20th.
Okay.
I'll go to the regular one.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah. It's an interesting
concept?
An interesting concept.
Yes.
I was going to say idea and concept at the same time and came up
Did not work.
Idea. Combine. Yeah.
For crying out sakes.
This is exactly. So this is basically you can go down March 7th and try out and do your own little combine against actual
in the field house
guys.
at Commonwealth. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't. What were all the ones again?
So you got the 40-yard dash.
Yes.
Or 20 yards for kids.
Okay.
Standing broad jump.
Okay.
Vertical jump.
Mm-hmm.
Pro/agility shuttle.
Okay.
So that's changing direction and speed and everything else.
Yeah.
And then the push-up competition.
Oh, my.
So, that's you're not going to actually do the, 225-pound bar.
No, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want to make Jean-Simon
It's
Waugh feel
lighter.
bad by, breaking his 39 record.
Exactly. I think it's a neat idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how many people are out there.
Yeah, you could take Riley down. It'd be fun.
I could. Yeah. Well, that's this Sunday?
Saturday.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see. What time is that at? Do you know?
9:30.
9:30 in the a.m. Perfect. That's the first thing you want to do after you get up is run 40 yards as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as many push-ups as you can do in a minute.
Perfect. Okay. That's... I might pass on that, but it'll be interesting to watch.
You'll just be sitting there and they'll be like, you did one. And I thought we were planking.
Yeah, I thought one. I did one really long one. Come on.
Right.
That was good. Yep. Sign me up, please.
A mega push-up.
How much insurance do they have?
Yeah,
not nearly
Oxygen.
enough. It's a very good point. I did realize as I was kind of going through and reading up on stuff for the Combine, the draft is April 30th.
Yeah.
So we're like less than 2 months away, like 4 shows away to the draft, which is crazy.
Live show.
Right? That's crazy. It's so exciting. Yeah. So, all right. What other fun stats games do you have for us there?
My gosh.
UncleBD.
Oh, let's see. If you were a receiver and you had a great 1,000-yard season, where would that rank you in the all-time Eskimo?
Just 1,000 yards career?
career, where would that put you?
1,000 yards career. Where would that put you? And how many catchers have there been?
Oh, there's been many. But there have been
Lots.
442 people that have caught at least a pass.
442 that have at least caught a pass. Okay.
Yeah.
And where would 1,000 yards put you? I am going to say it would put you right somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say 210.
Ooh, I don't know if it's that high.
Over a career?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might have caught a pass, but they only played a game.
Right.
So I'm going to say 145th.
It would put you at 81st.
Oh.
Really? That low? Holy cow. I didn't think it would be that.
It's impressive.
Low. Okay. Because I'm just thinking of all the guys that had like 300 or 400 yard seasons over a season, right? And then you look at your like your Nate Kuhorns and stuff like that had those 300-400 yard seasons.
Sure.
And you add up enough of them, right? But
Yep.
I'm wrong.
Well, and again, just on that vein, again, if you had 100 carries, 100 rushes, where would that put you on the all-time list?
This is Mike's one.
Oh, lots of rushes.
There have been 359 rushers.
Now, we got a lot of guys, more guys in the 50s because we were a rush first team, but they were only a few guys that were rushing the ball.
Right.
So not yards, but carries.
Yeah.
Think
about
carries.
I'll put, I'll say, I'm going to go low. I want to say 79.
Out of how many again?
359 rushers.
100, touching the ball 100 times.
Yeah, rushing with it. Yeah.
I've
Whether you gained or lost.
I've watched the Eskimos for the past 4 years very closely, so I'm going to say probably like 52.
You guys are in the right ballpark. 70.
Oh,
yeah,
so up by 9, not
there
bad.
you go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
So again, you have all these different. It's been fun researching all this history and putting together and see what the numbers add up to. And again, going through the 60s, it was kind of painful.
I bet.
Right? It's like,
talk to people that were there.
Oh,
pretty painful
like
for them too.
Oh wait, no,
I was there for 8 months.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was only there for 4 months.
Yeah,
but no, it's very interesting to see the dynamics of the team and how they've changed philosophies. Run first to passing and how we've gone over that. And God, Tom Wilkinson was a great ball player, thrown for like 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
But he split. I mean, his entire career either had Lemmerman or Moon. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, first guy up on the wall, and there's no 5,000 yard season for him. But again,
there's no 1,000 yard season for anyone at that point.
But again, it's all about context and what you do with it and how you're doing it, how the game is changing. Right? Some of these screens and that we do now is they're taking the place of rushes. Right? So
right.
Yeah.
It's the evolution of the game.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when you start finding stats getting revised. Like, even this last year, C.J. Gable didn't have 1,000 yards, and then he did because they recalculated the numbers.
Yes.
And it's like, hold on a second.
Yeah, actually, he does.
Yeah, that happened again with George McGowan, who got the record for most receptions in a season. When they recalculated and they said, oh, we missed one or two, and so they ended up getting, instead of 96, he got 98 receptions in a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
very cool. Very, very cool. All right, we have a couple of Empire cues to go over. So, Chris Agar asked, with what many quote-unquote experts consider the Esks D secondary taking a step down, do you think the secondary will be bottom 4 in the league?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it stepping down, just because we don't know what some of these guys are going to bring.
That was exactly my answer. Yeah,
we've got a lot of unknowns at this point.
We have how many DBs have they brought in?
Yeah, I mean, they have everything.
There's
like 20 some odd receivers are certainly under contract to the Eskimos.
Like, how are you? Yeah, I don't think you can judge it until you get to at least a preseason game and see some of these other guys out on the field.
I think the other thing too, you cannot understate how important chemistry is. Right. Because we had so many injuries again. You need these guys to play together and gel, so that if you're playing, right defensive half, that the safety's going to do this and your corner is going to do that or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. And I think there's some talented guys in there. Like I mean, do not underestimate Jonathan Mincy.
No, sir.
Like that guy can cover and he can hit where you don't maybe want to
throw to his side.
The receiver might be like, I'm good. That's all right.
What if we get a healthy Santos Knox?
Yeah.
That changes the game.
Yeah,
big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Less time, maybe that gets an extra second quicker to get to the quarterback.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not ready to judge and say that they're going to be great, but I'm not ready to judge and say they're going to be horrible.
Yeah.
I think that we made some tweaks back there, and I think that Coach Thorpe, one of his specialties is coaching secondary.
Yeah.
So I want to give them all a chance to play together and see what happens before I make any judgment calls.
I think that's it too. Is scheme plays such a massive part of your offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Benavides is back in the league, so like, how does that? Right, it changes. Like, what's Ottawa going to be like? Right.
Yeah.
And you throw his philosophy in there, and
almost like we swapped defensive coordinators.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost. Yeah.
A year of Lolly in there.
that could be a very interesting for sure. Chris Curtis asked, for you, Uncle BD, do you have a favorite stat?
I do.
All right. What is your favorite?
I love the first downs by rushing.
Okay.
Because when you get 10 first downs by rushing, there is a very high probability you're going to win that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this one.
So no kidding.
Again, it's not 100 yards. It's not 200 yards rushing. It's 10 first downs by rushing. That could be 3 1-yard TD runs.
Right. Yep.
Right. It's, you're 2nd and 2 and you get that 3 yards. Again, you're moving the chains. You're retaining the ball. You're controlling the pace. It
wearing up the defense.
It does.
Yep.
It's a physical deterioration of the defensive line. It's, again, you're controlling. You're telling the defense, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just run it down your throat.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
And again, it
could be a quarterback sneak.
So predictive of how the outcome will go.
Yep.
That's my favorite one.
Do you keep kind of track of that while you're in the game a little bit, or not really, because you're just on the next play?
I sneak a peek at the end of the quarters at halftime, see where they're at. If they're at 5 or 6 by halftime, you can see it typically dictates who's controlling the play.
Okay.
And it also dictates who's controlling the clock.
Yep.
A close second favorite stat that I have is consecutive passes completed. That's a great. For years, I tracked just the passing with our crew, and you got Ricky Ray. Even when Jason Moss was in there, too. You're going 14, 15 straight, and there's an incompletion. There's a flag on the play. So yay! It keeps on going, right? It's like, we're up to 12, we're up to 13, And there was
he must have loved that Montreal playoff game last year.
But there's so many little things like that again. I wish we would. Coaches try, right? A lot of these teams script their first 15, 20 plays. Yeah. And again, the way styles of offense are going, you got these screens and short hitches and isolation plays and drag routes and all this and that. A lot of these are just long handoffs.
Right.
But again, football is about execution. And if you don't execute,
you beat the guy across the line from you.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. But again, if you don't execute, you're sitting on the sideline and you're watching the ball go the other way.
Yeah.
So it's those are my 2 favorites. So.
Okay, those are excellent.
Mine is successful drop kicks.
Successful drop kicks.
Yeah.
Doug Flutie fan.
Well, he didn't do it in the CFL though.
No.
The last one that was attempted in the CFL was Tom Wilkinson. So I don't have to worry about maintaining a stat that way.
At least you're not really worried about it as you're sitting in the stands.
And he wasn't successful. So.
No? Oh, okay. When was the last successful one?
I haven't got a slightest clue.
Okay,
I'm not a stats
guy. Perfect. Yeah. When was our last actual return TD? Was that 2015?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Not including preseason. Yes.
Okay. I was listening to the Alouettes flight deck, and they were saying that we've have been a little harder complaining about our special teams, and I'm like, how many return touchdowns have you guys had in 4 years? I'm pretty sure it's, you had like 4 last year.
But the only consistent thing we've had over those last 4 years was our head coach.
Right. True.
That's the only thing so his philosophy on special teams is being changed.
Yes.
So we have a new head coach. We'll see what his philosophy is.
We shall see. Be very exciting. I wanted to just ask, because we haven't actually talked about this on the podcast. XFL, have you guys watched it at all?
I watched it in week 2.
Okay.
I watched a bit in week 1.
Okay. Nothing since?
Nope.
Okay. That's very telling.
I know that St. Louis is doing really well. Their attendance is over 30,000 on average. But everyone else, New York had, 12,000?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
If Toronto had 12,000, we'd just decrying how bad they're doing.
Right.
New York is a lot bigger.
Absolutely. Oh,
and
I
in
agree.
a much football-hungrier market. So I think the problem is St. Louis is the only team of them that doesn't have an NFL team.
That's true, yes.
So it's expected to do well.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. I didn't pick it based on that, but I picked the Battlehawks because
Dexter McCoyle,
and they have a guy with the last name Hoskins. So
that's all you need.
That's all you need. Yeah.
But I was very and I really enjoy actually watching their quarterback. He's one of the more talented quarterbacks in that league. The one thing that I will say though is it is like watching 8 expansion teams, right? Because they're all learning the rules and they're all trying to figure out who goes where, and absolutely, yeah. So, but they have some cool things.
But that concept of coach, picking up the coach talking to the quarterback, I tell you, whoever came up with that?
That's weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I have no idea.
On every play in every game, though,
it's like watching curling.
Yeah, nice.
When the defensive end is like, "Hurry hard!"
That's what. Yeah, that's what happens all the time.
Well, I watched that one game, and Jim Zorn is talking his quarterback off a ledge. I swear he was. It's like, calm down. Yeah, get ready to snap it here when you go to about 5 seconds.
Really, I like when they have a challenge.
It's very different.
I love the challenge. Yep. Love the challenge. I really, really like that. I know it's totally gimmicky, but I love the 1, 2, or 3 point convert. I think it's
a lot
cool.
Football has more rules than any other sport as it is.
Yeah. But I just think that's cool. Most teams will go for 1 or 2. I think only one team that I've seen has gone for 3.
When you're down by 9, now again you can try. It's a 1-score game, but
so it's kind of an interesting way to do that. But I don't know. There are moments that I'm like, hey, it's football
and
in
it's
spring.
Weird seeing when they kick and nobody moves.
The kickoff. Yeah.
It's like, what's everyone doing?
Yeah. I was waiting for them all to just stand there and no blocking,
right?
Like the 50s.
Even into the early 70s.
No blocking, just let them go.
Ole.
Yeah, that would be a little interesting.
But back to the review there. What do you guys think about talking with the official?
Oh, I love it.
For sure.
I love that being
transparency.
Transparent. And you can actually hear what they're saying from the booth.
Well,
love it.
I love it. A few years ago, flipping through the channels, came across a cricket thing, and they did the same thing in the replays.
Really?
The guys, the replay officials, okay, roll it ahead, roll it back, roll it ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, made my decision. And then to hear that thought process and seeing what angles he's looking at,
right?
That's also very telling of what did they see, right? So
I thought it was great.
I'd love to see it integrated into the Canadian game.
Oh, yeah, that's a ratings.
And I believe Preston even said that in that interview the other day.
Yeah,
that he thought that was a really cool thing. So
it'd be very good.
Yeah, I would love it. So. Before we get to our plugs and things, I just want to remind everybody that if you're looking for some tickets for many things in either the Edmonton area or even down in the States, make sure you go to seatgiant.ca. You can get all of your tickets in Canadian dollars, so you don't have to worry about transfer rate or anything like that. But you can get tickets for any kind of event right at seatgiant.ca, and you can use the code APN and get a discount on your tickets as well.
Awesome.
Yay. Well, Uncle BD, this has been amazing as always. Thank you for coming in and sharing all of your stats knowledge with us.
Yes. I love coming in.
Excellent. Where does everybody find you so they can find all of the exciting stats?
Well, you got 2 spots to find me at UncleBD.
Yes.
And I started a new Twitter account, UBD Lists.
Oh.
So some of these things that I've been talking about tonight, you'll be seeing those lists up there.
Nice. Okay.
Just use them more as a reference and so you guys can
I like that. UBD lists.
Just
Okay.
going to find it now.
I was gonna say, search that up right now. Excellent. And thank you again for the UncleBD stats moment every week during the season. I love it. I love when you send me
doing it.
cool stuff, and I'm like, yay, we get to talk about this. So
A little bit different.
yeah, absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Superfan, where does everybody find you?
They can find me at 56 Parkies, and then the history segment at Esks History.
Perfect. You can find me at Freepalicious. Of course, the show at Esks Empire Pod. Plug again, just to make sure that you check out the link to Earthquakeu's camp that he is having at sacksforracks.com. That's SACKSFORRACKS.com. I almost said it. Almost. Okay. Follow Pay It Forward with Football on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, check out all of the great shows on the Alberta Podcast Network at albertapodcastnetwork.com. That's a different one.
That was a different one, all right.
I'll change it up here. And of course, all the great CFPN pods at cfpodnetwork.ca. All of our social channels are available on eskempire.ca. As we said off the top of the show, the live show should be May 9th in the afternoon, some way or the other. I'm just hoping it's not in my backyard, which is basically kind of where we're headed at this moment. If any help with finding a venue, we'd very much appreciate it. Fill out your ballots for the all-time depth chart. We will have the links out tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So find all of the links. Vote for your defensive line. And try not to cry as much as I'm going to as I go through that list, because it's going to be very difficult. Next week, we will be back with a pre-recorded episode with Ryan Ballantyne from The Horseman, where he tells me how I'm wrong about making the choice day, and also goes through the importance of the Randy Roadshow.
Excellent.
Yeah. I was waiting for a response.
I'm like, you said Randy Rhodes show. I'm like, the show of Randy Rhodes? Because that'd be awesome.
That would be neat, too.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, for Brian, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.